Hi, this is just gonna be a casual vlog, but I wanted to address something first. Another YouTuber, Tucker, invited me on this awesome video about AI and how some people use disability as a defense. I got to yap my head off a little bit and I had a lot of fun. So thank you, Tucker, and go check that out. And I know because of that video, I have a lot of new viewers now, so I just want to say hi. I'm a creative, so I have different avenues I like to try out, and YouTube is one of those. But most of my work is on Instagram. Today is just gonna be a little montage of my days in October. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for subscribing. Hopefully you stick around and enjoy October. Filming the sunset.
That's where the sunset is. Look where that goes. And I'm like, this makes no sense.
I want to come over here. Oh no!
I don't know if anybody can live in there. You're really good at catching me off guard. Where I finally started going deep in thought, and I've been chatty all night, and then now you're like, anything to say? No. I'm excited to see Kurtland, Kurtztown, something like that.
I'm so excited! Woo! Give it up for the outfit! Let's go! Wait, why? Who cares?
Why'd you guys stop? You guys hate him or something?
Like, the night couldn't have gone better. Just seeing my evolution of how I got here is crazy. One day, Kurtis is holding my drawing in a picture, and that's the best thing in the world to me. And tonight, I met Kurtis and Jacob and his team. His team is amazing. Honestly, so kind. Everyone is so kind. It's ridiculous. Whatever. Acting like it makes me mad. No, it's great. Okay, well, the joy is making all my physical pain obsolete. It went great. Honestly, I don't think I've ever gone to an event and everything went perfectly. Everything. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed now and I'm gonna take off my makeup. Yay! Woo! Now, as for meeting Kurtis, I want to be careful for how I speak on it because there are some people who let that experience get to their head, and I don't want to sound like I'm gloating at all. My internalized ableism, whatever, is like, someone's gonna say, oh, you only got this opportunity because you're disabled. No, I'm a talented artist, and Kurtis has known that for years. He's always supported me, and whatever. Okay, my disability was never a part of the conversation, ever, as it should be, though I was still gratefully accommodated, mind you. So we'll just say it was organized well, and I'm just documenting a joyful experience of mine. I want to make it very clear that even though Kurtis is some popular YouTuber, this isn't a clout chasing situation. I'm so afraid of being perceived as that, but I see Kurtis as a person first and foremost. I really respect him and his wife as humans and creatives, and of course Jacob and their whole team as well. I might be a fan on some level, but it's also about being an artist, and I've worked with him before on a poster, so it's a bit different than what you usually see. Some moments deserve to be kept private and they don't need a whole story time. So when I talk about this, I'll just be coming at it from my perspective rather than the details themselves. So that night, I feel like I unlocked something within me. I've never felt more confident than that night. Seriously, I'm an introvert, so I'm chatting with people I know, but when it comes to people I don't know, it's hard for me to start a conversation. Going into that night, like usual, I planned to give Kurtis some of my art prints. I use Poster Ninja. They're not a sponsor, but they do great art prints. I've bought from them a few times. I mean, they can get a bit pricey when you want to buy multiple prints, but it was worth it, okay? So that was my main stressor for the night. I wanted a way to give it to him. Last time in 2022, I got lucky, and the security guard manager gave it to him, but this time I didn't really know what to do. So I was like, oh my god, who am I gonna talk to? Who am I gonna find? Then, right as the doors open and I go into the event, I see Kurtis' merch manager, and I recognize him. We've actually worked together on a poster for Kurtis' Certified Show over a year ago now. That's crazy to think about, but my initial plan was to get my dad to do the talking for whoever we found, but I just grabbed the art and went up to him myself. I literally never do that. And I was so self-assured, and like, I am as a person, but that usually never really reflects on how I interact with people. So I was very proud of myself, and I was riding that high throughout the night, and that continued on so when they said they loved my art, and they're gonna find a way to get me to meet Kurtis, and they're very chill. It was just so easy. Like, that's all I know how to describe it. It was so easy. It was effortless, and I was worried I was gonna make a fool of myself, but like I said, I've never felt more confident that night. Literally never. That's all I have to say on that. It is Phoenix, and I am getting my hair done. Why do I use that voice? It is Phoenix, and I'm getting my hair done because I'm about to see Djo in concert. No, we have weak arms. It's really hard to get the good angles. Yeah.
So I need to not just freeze, I need to be animated and have a life. We're here at Djo. We're gonna see Post Animal and Djo. Don't know anything about Post Animal.
We have 6 people in the band. There's a ton of instruments on stage, and there's genre crossing synth pop to vintage folk to classic rock to psychedelic. We're in for a treat.
I feel like that was an exact recreation of the last time we were here.
Oh, I said something
like the exact same reaction.
Okay.
I'm excited to see Wallows. They're a 3-piece band. We've known each other since they were kids. In a brand new Channel 24 venue.
Yeah, alright. Let me be more authentic. I tell you, like my authentic meter literally turns off the second the camera's pointed at me.
We are so lucky to be here with you guys tonight. Can't think of a place we'd rather be.
To have a little chat about creativity while I do a little bit of self-care this morning. I mainly get my thoughts out about this particular subject, and I didn't know quite the place to do it. I've always been a small artist, and for the past few months I've been finally getting more engagement and finally getting the appreciation I've wanted for so long. And I just want to talk a bit more about that because it's a really interesting topic and you don't really know what to do until you get where I am right now. In specifics, I've gone from 200 to 3,000 followers on Instagram. I've noticed a shift in many things, but mainly with how people interact with my content. I've always had good friends that support what I do, of course, but also a lot of people seem to look up to me, which is a crazy thing to feel because I'm always the one looking up to other people. I think me having more followers now makes people perceive me in a different way. Everyone is guilty of this. It's not until it happened to me that I realized that I do it too. When someone has a following, as long as it's more than you perceive them in a different way. You perceive them as having figured it out. I wonder what they do. Oh, they're doing something right. I'm not jealous of other people's achievements. I've always admired other people's accomplishments. And despite wanting that for myself, there's no contempt there. There's always joy. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, my following has changed, but I have not. And it's really interesting because people are treating me differently now. And it's not quite imposter syndrome. It makes you realize that, wow, even the people I look up to, we're all the same. We're all going through the same thing. And no one has it figured out. Even now that I'm getting more engagement now, I still sometimes feel like there's something I'm chasing and that there's something more I need to be doing. But I don't know, I'm constantly torn between being grateful but also still being more ambitious. I analyze what I feel a lot. So when I feel certain feelings sometimes I'm at war at whether that emotion is appropriate for a situation or not. When I see that a certain post isn't doing as well as my other posts, I get a little bit disappointed. And I'm like, wait, you should be so grateful. Just a few months ago, you were getting like 20 likes on each thing. And also, it feels silly talking about this stuff because I feel like I sound like a stupid, like, engagement numbers focused person. And I hate people like that, but that's not what it is. It's just, I'm ambitious and my career is furthering. Is that a word? So I just want to maintain that. So that's why I'm focused on certain elements. And it's a constant battle between do what you love, post what you want. Never post just because you think it'll do well. So I try to do a balance. I'm like, hey, I like this thing and I think it'll do well, you know? I mean, I think the reason I got here, got this furthering notice, is that the things that I love, they all just happen to be popular things. I have noticed, interestingly, that my drawings get less engagement than my posters or my mixed media edits, which is interesting because I always start out doing drawings. I know it's impossible to be completely original in anything you create, but I'm still really convinced that I bring something unique to the table, and I have my own style, and I take pride in how well I capture likenesses. So yeah, I just want to say I feel kind of like a misbalance with the interaction I'm getting now because nothing in my personal life has changed. I think that's the interesting thing about online engagement. There are different measures of success, and online engagement obviously it feels nice, but not all the time does it transfer into the real world. I want to make a room tour so badly because I think my room is really cool and I get compliments on it, but it's constantly changing all the time. I constantly put more and more posters up. I am overall an organized person, but it also gets messy sometimes in certain corners, so it's not in the state for that right now. But let me know if that's something you want to see. I'll give you a little sneak peek so you can see if the rest is worth touring. That's my camera that I used to film my like more professional videos. And this is my wall. And this is my record player. My record's in here. This is where I charge my iPad. I'm actually gonna take it out right now because I'm gonna draw before lunch. I don't know if this will read well on camera, but I'm working on this drawing for, actually, let's see. Oh yeah, I started this in August, so yeah, so a while ago. Oh. This wasn't my intention, but Halloween is just in a few days, so I thought it'd be perfect to finish for then. Sabrina is mostly done, I still need to finish them. And I'm honestly glad I waited to finish it because I learned some new drawing tips since then. So yeah, I'm gonna work on this today. For those who don't know, though I'd be surprised if we didn't, Sabrina is gonna be Harley Quinn, Chapel is Poison Ivy, and that's Olivia as Catwoman. In the comics, I know this because my brother is a nerd. They're called the Gotham City Sirens. They're like the anti-heroes / villains of DC and Batman universe. Yummy. This sandwich shop in my area, I order from them so much. Like, it's crazy. They're so good. This morning, I received an email about a PR opportunity. And because I'm a smart, slightly cynical person, I immediately assumed it was fake. But then I read more into it, and it seemed intriguing because it's a brand that I bought from. I have 2 dresses from them, and I both really love them. They're really gorgeous. When I read further into it, the points seemed clear, concise, and well written. Not like those stupid AI business copy pasta emails I get all the time. So I was like, wait a minute, hold on, this is really cool. So they send the contract over once I say I'm interested. And I read the contract and it seemed really concrete. Though there was something mentioned about a fee that you have to pay for the shipping. But this brand is marketed as being in Los Angeles. And I asked a question about that before I signed, and I asked if I could pay the fee after I received my first order of free clothing for trust purposes. And they responded, this payment goes to DHL, not us. And this is a policy we must adhere to. You have to make that payment once the order is chosen. So that was kind of fishy. And then DHL is an international shipping company. But this company says they're from Los Angeles. So I asked about that. I was like, hey, where do clothes ship from? Because DHL is an international shipping company. So I'm just wondering if tariffs are involved. You know, that whole thing. And they also kept using the word kindly. The last response was strange. And the tipping point. They didn't really answer where they shipped from. They just said what the fees covered, which I already was aware of, and they missed a period in one of their sentences. And it was clear that they were trying to rush me into signing the contract. So that immediately made me feel uncomfortable. And I searched up the brand, and while I've had good experience with my orders in the past, apparently they have a huge problem with receiving the wrong clothing and terrible customer service and returning issues. So even if it wasn't a scam, my email, I didn't feel good about supporting a brand like that anyway. So I didn't say anything else. I just not gonna do it. But I'm disappointed because it seems like a really fun thing and a good step in my career as a content creator. I got excited, but it's good I did my due diligence. Be smart about the emails you get, okay? And yeah. One thing I'm still not sure about though is if that was the actual company or someone impersonating the company. Because the email domain seemed legit and the real company had bad reviews, so it could just be a scummy company after all. Or it could be an impersonation. That's something I'm not sure of. In other news, I basically finished my drawing. Now I just have to figure out the background and the lighting situation. Alright, I finished my drawing. I'm surprised, I didn't expect that, but I got to a point that I'm pretty happy with, and I'm going to bed now. Oh yeah, I had my retainers in because I got my braces out a few months ago. I never addressed that, I realized, but yeah, retainers are disgusting, man. Whew. They reek in the morning. Nobody warned me for that. Okay, so I bought this new top and it goes like this. To forward. I want it like that, ideally. I want it like this, but it is not like that. So I'm gonna have to return it, which is a shame because it's really pretty. After I filmed that part, that day preceding was my worst chronic pain day in a while. I've had this pinch in my neck for a few months now, and usually it's just the pain there. but it caused a headache, and that day my body was just screaming at me to get some rest. So I listened, and I spent most of the day in bed. But it was a very bad pain day, and it was very frustrating. My relationship to chronic pain continues to get more and more complex, but it's something you just have to get through no matter what. You can't change what happens, but I gotta say, it's depressing, but also real. My body feels like my worst enemy a lot of the time now. I went to the ER last month, and they gave me oxycodone to help with the pain, and it made me cry, and I can almost cry right now just thinking about it again. I've never felt that safe in my body in a really long time. And it sucks. I'm just continuing to try to find ways to manage my pain, but I really need a stronger medicine for the time being. So that's something I'm working on getting referred to. But because of my disability, it doesn't usually come with pain, so there's only so much my doctor can prescribe, so it's something that we kind of have to jump through hoops on getting my needs listened to and met. Okay, there's one last thing I want to talk about before this video ends. If you ever feel like a friendship of yours, its lifespan is dwindling, I know it's uncomfortable, but please give them respect of having a conversation with them, telling them why you feel the way you do, and just being direct and honest while being kind, because one too many times in my life I've experienced online friendships just end without a warning, without any communication, and it's the worst feeling. We left in the dark. So I want to encourage you. Obviously, to some degree, everyone wants to avoid the hard feelings, but I've made an effort myself after experiencing this. If I feel me and a person just aren't a match anymore, I'm gonna be honest and tell them straight up so they aren't surprised, they aren't caught off guard. And obviously there's still some hurt involved, but it's much better than being left in the dark, especially if it's been a multiple year-long friendship. Obviously, cutting people off is the easiest thing to do, but it's also cowardly, and it sucks to be the receiving end on that. I'm more mature now, so I can handle it better, but still, it's just not healthy at all. And also, on top of that, trust your gut. If you feel like something is off in a friendship, I don't know, I try to be understanding. So I always assume I'm in the wrong for detecting a vibe in somebody, but it always ends up blowing up in my face. And being kind is hard because it's the right thing to do, but it can often end up in people taking advantage of that and playing in your face and walking all over you. So I'll never stop being kind, but there needs to be a balance. Kindness and boundaries at the same time. Yeah. Okay. That's it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want more. I gotta say, this is kind of therapeutic for me to do because when I was younger, I vlogged. When you're a kid, you don't really know who you are. So now, vlogging and knowing who I am now, I'm not like performing for the camera as much. I just get to get my thoughts out. So yeah, let me know if you like this. Bye! I was like, my biggest fear is literally someone going, okay girl, we get it, you gotta make a wish.